All right, Brainiacs, buckle up because it's about to get funky. Hugo the Honey Badger here. Buzzed and ready, pause, tap, tap, tapping. Let's pounce on today's mind blower. Here's a brain teaser. Why does a big flag fly halfway down the pole in the morning, then scoot back up at noon? And how did a 10,000 person parade help spark a giant tradition? Let's roll. Topic reveal time. Memorial Day, a day to remember and honor U.S. military heroes who died while serving. It lands on the last Monday in May. A long weekend, but like cooler because it carries big heart and big history. A definition station. Memorial Day is a U.S. federal holiday for mourning service members who died in the U.S. Armed Forces. It used to be called Decoration Day because families and friends decorated soldiers' graves with flowers. Perfectly meaningful. Quick check. It's different from Veterans Day, which honors all veterans, and different from Armed Forces Day, which honors people currently serving. Memorial Day is about those who gave their lives. That's the core, the heart, the heavy truth. Okay, now here's where it gets extra spicy. The roots go back to the American Civil War in the 1860s. So much loss. So many families in mourning. People began placing flowers on graves all over. Then boom, organization time. In May 1868, General John A. Logan, leader of a Union veterans group called the Grand Army of the Republic, said, "Let's have a National Decoration Day on May 30th. No guts, no glory. Let's make it official." Why May 30th? Some said it wasn't tied to a battle. Others liked that flowers would be blooming across the North. That first year, 1868, ceremonies took place in at least 183 cemeteries across 27 states. Talk about a beehive of remembrance. Time for a beehive of knowledge. But wait, Southern women's groups had already been leading the way. In March 1866, Marianne Williams and the Ladies Memorial Association of Columbus, Georgia, called for a day to decorate soldiers' graves, and April 1866 became a big Southern observance. Those ladies showed fierce heart. They kept cemeteries cared for, planned readings and songs, and inspired others. Honey Badger salute. Speaking of wild stuff, check this out. In May 1865 in Charleston, South Carolina, newly freed black residents held a huge 10,000 person parade. They reburied 257 Union soldiers who had died at a prison camp, decorated the graves with flowers, and sang and marched. It looked a lot like what Memorial Day would become. Historians say it was a powerful early ceremony, even if it was not the single start of the national holiday. Still, whoa, that is history roaring loud. Now the flag move that turns heads. On Memorial Day morning, the U.S. flag rises fast to the top, then drops to half staff until noon to honor the fallen. At noon, it goes back up to full staff, showing national resolve. Mourning first, then courage to carry on. For real, a flag can tell a story without a single word. Ceremony vibes. People visit cemeteries and memorials. Small flags appear on thousands of graves, especially in national cemeteries like Arlington or Gettysburg. There may be a moment of silence, a rifle salute, and taps, that gentle bugle call that says goodnight to brave souls. Okay, switching rivers, heart check. That sound can make a honey badger tear up a bit. Long ago, the Grand Army of the Republic even shared handbooks to guide ceremonies, and the Women's Relief Corps helped too. Poems, prayers, making sure no grave was missed. Thanks to them, many communities still follow a familiar rhythm each year. That's tradition with Turbo. And now, hold on to your fur. This next bit is bonkers. People argue over where Memorial Day really started. Some say Charleston, some say Waterloo, New York, which got an official shout-out in 1966. Others point to Boalsburg, Pennsylvania. Historians look for strong proof, and it turns out many places had early ceremonies. The simple answer, lots of hearts had the same idea at about the same time. And Logan's 1868 order turned it into a nationwide day. Mystery solved, kind of. Fast forward. During the World Wars, the focus stretched from Civil War graves to all who died in U.S. service. By the late 1960s, a law moved the date to the last Monday in May to make a long weekend. Some folks love the convenience. Others worry the meaning gets fuzzy. That's why reminders matter, like the national moment of remembrance at 3 p.m. local time. A short pause, wherever anyone is. Stadium, street, or sandwich shop. Heads bow for 60 quiet seconds. Culture check. Memorial Day also feels like the start of summer. Grills sizzle, pools open, and travel zooms, but the heart of the day stays solemn. Some veterans groups even wish the date would return to May 30th to keep the focus sharp. Either way, that 3 p.m. pause and the morning half-staff flag are like anchors holding the meaning steady while the weekend waves splash around. Big stage shout-out. The National Memorial Day concert at the U.S. Capitol brings music, stories from veterans and families, and tribute. It is shared on screen so people far away can join in remembrance. Music plus memory, that combo is mighty. A thimble time, the red poppy. During World War I, a Canadian soldier wrote in Flanders Fields about poppies growing by soldiers' graves. Later, an American named Moyna Michael wore a poppy to remember the fallen and inspired the American Legion to use the poppy in 1920. Tiny flower, giant message. Next up is a doozy. Picture a honey badger marching with a poppy in one paw and a tiny drum in the other. Left, right, left. Tail swish, serious steps with a silly smile. One more neat thing. In national cemeteries after the Civil War, nearly 300,000 Union soldiers were reburied in honored places by 1870. Those rows of white headstones can feel kinda spooky at first glance, but also peaceful, like a quiet forest of stone, a place to whisper thanks. Pause for a moment. Hooray! Traditions pop up in songs and stories too. Composers, poets, and even movies explore remembrance. There is a film named Memorial Day, and there are poems like The Blue and the Gray that picture flowers placed on both Union and Confederate graves. Art helps hearts understand big feelings. That's a honey truth. And hey, Memorial Day is not the only Remembrance Day in the world. There is Remembrance Day on November 11th in places like Canada and the UK, Anzac Day in Australia and New Zealand and others too. Different dates, same idea. Honor the fallen, keep their stories alive. Okay, quick rewind for the key beats. Memorial Day honors those who died in U.S. military service. It grew from Civil War sorrow into a national tradition in 1868. The flag goes half-staff until noon, then full. At 3 p.m., a quiet moment connects millions. Flowers, poppies, taps, and stories help the memories march forward. We're on a roll. A final honey badger daydream, a sunny park, a careful parade, a poppy pinned on a furry vest. Then in the sky, sparkles of another famous holiday flicker across the mind. Fireworks, hot dogs, and history lessons zooming by. But that mystery can wait. Today belongs to quiet thanks and steady hearts. Ayo, that was a wild ride. Give yourself a tail wag and high five. Stay curious, little one. Get in the zone. It's honey badger time. And that's the tail end of that tale. For real.